right, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Big Dave here with another episode of the BIZARCAST. Let me know in the chat if everything sounds good. We have, we had a little bit of a switch up with the audio stuff. So if something sounds amiss, if one of us sounds a little low, let us know in the chat, please. Also, listen to this. Listen to this. Breaking news. YouTube has remonetized Big Dave. So we got super chats. We got super chats here on the BIZARCAST and other live streams. So if you want to send your boy Big Dave and the BIZARCAST, Mr. Shane, some tips, you could send us a super chat right there. So we got that. Isn't that nuts? They like had a shadow banned and like had me all demonetized and everything. I like applied to remonetize about 400 different times, right? And then I just apply, and then out of nowhere, they're like, hey, yep, here you go. And I just went back and I had a few spicy videos that I took down, so I could get on and get my grift on nice and deep, get a nice deep grift going. But tonight we're going to talk about quite a few things. We're going to talk about a very weird deer, right? We know we like weird animals around here. We're going to talk about Shane for the first time watched Dune. So I wanted to get his reaction. And also, Mr. Shane wanted to talk about a film that he really, really liked that he just recently watched called The Lighthouse. I actually didn't finish it because I thought it was a snooze, so I turned it off. But Shane insists that it's good.
This is just going to be a show about movies Shane watched in the last 2 weeks, and then me deliver commentary.
Yeah. So we're gonna yak a little bit about some films that Shane watched and other things. We're probably gonna yak about Dune a little bit. But guys, like always, and obviously we're gonna go off the rails. That's just how it is. But obviously, guys, go buy BIZARCAST 4. BIZARCAST 4 is out. It's crushing it. We're doing great. Man, last year was crazy with the sales. We did so good. We're growing. We're about to move into our new headquarters up here pretty soon. We got a new book coming out very, very soon for you guys. And then also we got something really special. I'm going to show you guys here. Something really special that we're working on that is going to be coming out really soon. It's produced by the BIZARCAST. So I revealed it last time I did the interview with Roland from Cult Games, but some of you guys might not have seen it. But here, I'm going to show you right here real quick.
Your lands are in ruin. Your spirits are broken. Your temples are burning, and soon I, Necron, shall fulfill my destiny as your new god. All of Grimmearth shall fall to their knees before me, lest there is someone fool enough to take up the gauntlet.
How many guys you guys know? How many guys out there that run YouTube channels, that have their own little publishing thing? How many guys in this sphere take your guys' money that you buy products with and flip it around and turn it into something like that? Not that many people. Big Dave does that. Big Dave is big money. Well, soon be money as in big victory, right? We turn our things into something that are useful. We like to crank out new art. We have a lot of vision. We want to go out into so many different avenues of art and of entertainment, and we want to just literally replace everything the vampires have taken from us, everything that they've subverted, turned into crap, right? Wizards of the Coast. We can talk about that.
Oh my god! I'm sure we'll get into it.
No, slime balls. But we want to make a cool alternative to literally everything. And I won't take no for an answer. And I won't, there's nothing that can stop us because we got you guys on our side.
The same attitude we have towards our women.
Yeah. we won't take no for an answer. We got you guys as friends and supporters. We got the high holy gods on our sides. And we're going to crush it. We are going to stomp into every known temple, every known institution, every known avenue that we can fit in. Everywhere that we stomp our feet, we will call home, and there's nothing they can do to stop us. And you don't believe me? Fuck around and find out. We'll see. So Yeah, we got a video game coming out very soon, produced by the BIZARCAST, produced by yours truly, and giving you guys the returns that you deserve. So many of you guys out there buy our books and support us financially. The BIZARCAST, we're getting ready to move into a headquarters, man. Like we're gonna rent this place. We're gonna have like a headquarters and distribution hub and like all this kind of stuff. That's because you guys support us, man. So keep it, let's keep it going. And you guys go hard for us. We're gonna go hard for you until the end of time.
We're so hard for you.
But I promise, man, I promise we'll keep delivering to the best of our ability with the resources that we got, and there's nothing that can stop us. But so anyway, yeah, buy books, sub to our Substack at the obelisk.substack.com. We got another ebook about to drop over there, so go check that out. Lots of great content. Follow us on Twitter and Telegram at the BIZARCAST. So, Mr. Shane, what's up, dude? We haven't gotten on the mic in quite a while.
It's been a couple weeks. Everything's been going pretty good.
Yeah. Your holidays were good.
Yeah, I mean we spent most of them together.
I know. Yeah, it just seemed like
if anyone knew how they went, it'd be you.
It just seemed like a thing that we should ask on air.
Yeah, they were great, man.
Hell yeah. Excellent. Let me turn down your gain a little bit because I think you're a little fizzy. But okay, a little fizzy. So you recently watched Dune, the movie, the new one.
Yeah, like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And I watched Dune with absolutely no previous context. I'm completely foreign to the lore of Dune.
No Dune knowledge.
No Dune knowledge whatsoever. So I figured I'd jump into it and see what it's all about from someone that is completely blind to it.
So press 9 in the chat if you are a big Dune respecter, Frank Herbert respecter, Dune enjoyer. Press 9 in the chat, because guys that love Dune, like it's pretty. It is a daunting task to get into the setting of Dune, to get into Frank Herbert's universe.
Yeah, I get that impression after watching the film.
Yeah, it's like to meet a human being that has actually read all of the books is like great white.
Aren't they like massive tomes too?
Huge. They're like, big boys. We're talking 600-700 pages and stuff.
Well,
Huge.
I really enjoyed the movie. Honestly, like I said, with no context, I don't know how accurate it was to the source material, but I mean, I feel like they did a great job with it. The whole atmosphere is just imposing, to say the least.
Yeah. So I had some problems with the new movie, right? It gets stacked up a lot against the old David Lynch movie, which I would suggest that you watch.
Yeah, I actually wasn't aware that there was a previous one.
Yeah, it came out in the 80s, and I believe Frank Herbert actually hated it. But a lot of people really like it because it's a little bit silly and quirky, and like there's a lot of stuff David Lynch has made up.
Now, how does the like ambiance of the first movie compare to the remake?
Oh, it's a completely different.
Is it?
It's a completely different vibe.
Okay.
It's really 80s and retro, and it's got some silliness in it, but also it has some stuff in it that's really charming and like really cool and memorable.
As a lot of those old movies tend to.
Yeah, it's like there's a few things in it that you look back and go, okay, that was a little corny. But there's some stuff in it you're like, that was based.
Yeah, and honestly, after watching the movie, it was like one of those movies where because Dune is such an expansive universe with like so much flushed out lore, the like watching the movie just left you slavering for more. Like there's just so much crammed into such a small amount of time. I want to know more. If anything is going to draw me to picking up the novels and reading them, it's going to be that, because I mean, in order to even begin to touch upon the depth of lore that there is in the movie, they like couldn't get very far with the narrative at all, really. Mm-hmm. So I mean, obviously, how they left it, there's got to be countless sequels coming after this.
I think the director Denis Villeneuve That's how you say his name. He only said he wants to do one more.
One more.
One more.
That's insane.
Which would only cover the first book.
Yeah, there's no way.
Maybe.
That would be, I mean, it would have to be like Lord of the Rings-esque length movie.
Yeah, the second movie to cover the whole rest of the book, in my opinion, would have to be like 6 hours.
Yeah, it's insane.
That would be an insane movie.
At least do 2 more.
Yeah. So Fingal says Frank Herbert was there during the filming of the movie. I don't think he hated it at all. I do know that he was involved, or not, I don't know if he was involved, but he like was present. But I think that there was some stuff in it that got added that he hated. For example, that the end of the, I'm not going to tell you. There's something that happened at the end of the 80s David Lynch Dune movie that like Frank Herbert like really hated. There's like the very last scene he hated that.
You know what though, I feel like that's always going to be the case when someone's making a film adaptation of a written piece of literature. The original creator is always going to have some kind of critique with it.
Yeah,
it's so rare that they absolutely nail it.
Yeah, well, and it's not a matter sometimes a matter of nailing it. It's like it's not that I don't know how to articulate it. To take a book, which you could do whatever you want in it.
Yeah.
Right. So with a book, you could literally write and create whatever world you want. Obviously, you are limited to what you can do on
film. Yeah,
and
the sky's the limit when you're writing.
And to tell a visual story is different than telling a written word or even oratory story.
Yeah, and also a lot of the time when it comes to films, you're limited to the technology of the time and the budget that you're working with.
Yeah. So, it is what it is. There are movies out there, like, for example, there is the sci-fi original movie Dagon. I love that movie.
Yeah.
It is such a cheesy, bad adaptation of it's like Shadow over Innsmouth, like with Dagon. It's just like a general Lovecraft movie. It's got silly costumes that you can see the zipper on the back. It's got like it's
but they did their best with what they had.
I liked it.
Yeah,
I liked it. I'm not even sorry.
You can't shit on those movies.
No.
They really tried to bring something to life that no one else was trying to.
Yeah, exactly.
And they did it with what they had at their disposal.
Yeah. Speaking of adaptations, your story, Baby Teeth, is about to come to the screen.
Yeah, weirdly enough. That's kind of unreal.
I know it's like it feels some kind of way. It's just my story, but it's in BIZARCAST 1, so I'm like here with you.
It's just so weird that of all the incredible stories in BZA 1, our boy Wolfshield went with mine, and I'm like so honored that he chose to do an adaptation of it.
Yours was one of the scariest ones in the book, and it was also one of the ones that was the most easily executed for visual storytelling.
Yeah. As soon as you guys told me that he was planning on doing this, I was like, that would be perfect. Like the whole story basically takes place in a single room.
Yeah, and I saw a lot of the film already. Not the whole film, but I saw a lot of the shots. I kind of know what the film's going to look like. Okay, and he has done a very, very good job of telling this story visually. I don't even think there's no dialogue in it until the end.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
And there's a few parts in there, like legit, like Wolfshield's movie. Don't sleep. Like I know Wolfshield has done.
I'm very excited to see what he's done with it.
Wolfshield has done like his last 2 movies, like I believe his first 2 movies. The first one was pretty silly and like kind of low budget, and he was just kind of like whatever. The second one was the No Country for Bigfoot or whatever, which was it's like a comedy. It's like a goofy comedy. It was.
I enjoyed it. Yeah,
I
liked it.
I thought it was great. I thought it was, it was shot very well. It had great cinematography, it had great pacing. He knows how to put together a
honestly, I think if anyone could do this story justice, Wolfshield could.
Yeah, I think Wolfshield is like he's slated to be like the man.
Yeah, he's slept on it. He's watch out for Wolfshield's films.
You guys are about to learn.
Yeah.
You guys are about to learn about this guy. Maybe give him like 2, 3, 4 more movies, and you're gonna see this guy like reach full power, right? I think Baby Teeth is going to be his first like serious one, and we're going to see what. But there's some parts in this movie that like it's told in like a way that is like adds another dimension to Baby Teeth.
And that's one of the things I'm really looking forward to, because like we were just talking about, that transition from literature into film, there's so much more that you can deliver on film than you can on paper, and I'm really interested to see what his approach is.
So Dune.
Yes, Dune.
So there's some issues with this Dune movie, right? There's obviously a little bit of pause. There's like they made Liet Kynes a black lady. They made what's guys, help me in the chat. What's Paul Atreides' girlfriend, the Fremen? What's her name? They used that Zendaya creature. She with the dog face. That she's. I don't care what anybody says. She is not an attractive. Shane knows how I feel about like women in movies. I really
we really expounded on this today.
Yeah. So I like if I'm watching a film and the woman is, and this is the thing that they do now. They like purposely cast these Uggs, and I just can't. I'll turn the movie off if the women are too ugly. Like an ugly guy. Like guys are supposed to be ugly. I don't want Chani, that's right. So Chani, they made this very ugly woman, and she's supposed to be this like gorgeous red hair, like beautiful, like angelic woman, and they made it this fucking dog-faced lady. She's just not attractive.
And see, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I have no idea. Like, I would have never picked up on any of this stuff because I have no idea what the lore is supposed to be.
Yeah.
So, like, I went into this completely unbiased. I could only presume that they were. I mean, obviously, I expected there to be some degree of pauseness, given the nature of the world as it currently is. But yeah, I would have had no idea where to look for it.
Yeah, it's But overall, I actually did like the Denis Villeneuve. I did. There was some stuff in it I didn't like, but overall, I enjoyed the movie. This was my complaint about the movie. They did not explain or include enough of the like really pivotal lore in it.
Yeah, and that's kind of like coming in from someone completely unfamiliar with it. I was like sitting there a lot of the movie and just like wondering what the fuck is going on. I mean, aesthetically speaking, like I loved like the architecture and the technology and these colossal spacecraft, and it was just like the entire aesthetic of the movie was just incredible. I loved it. It sucked me right in. But there's like so many times where it's just like, I need more information in regards to whatever's happening right now, especially when it came to like the different factions or organizations of individuals and how they associate with one another and what their history is between one another. And there's just so much depth to it that they just didn't really have the time to express.
Mm-hmm. Now this really stood out, right, for me, because I am not like a really heavy. I read the first book. I listened to the next few on audiobook when I was at work at my last job, and that's like, I've effectively read the overwhelming majority of Dune, and I know like in Chapter House and what was the second to last, like the last two books, I know what happens in them. I watch videos, et cetera, blah blah blah. So I'm not like a Dune guy. I just really like Dune, and you could say I'm not a serious Dune enjoyer. I'm halfway between casual and serious.
Okay.
Right? I'm a legit Dune guy, but I'm not like a Dune guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I can, like if a Dune guy comes up and talks to me,
you're a Dune enjoyer.
I'm a Dune enjoyer. I'm not a Dune connoisseur.
Yeah.
Right? But because I know about Dune, and I was the Dune guy in the room. You've watched movies with my wife, like this live feed critique. We ended up like pausing the movie all like throughout the whole movie, and not just my wife. My older brother watched it. Like we had like my whole family's in there. We're watching it every 20 minutes. Pause. Well, Dave, what was that? What was that? Blah 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 blah. And I did like, okay, well here's the fucking Butlerian jihad. And blah.
Okay, all right. So let me ask you this, right? since you are familiar with the novels, what is your opinion on the casting options they went with for some of the more pivotal characters in the story, like Paul, for instance?
I thought the guy they cast for Paul was a little bit of a twink. I thought they could have made him a little bit more, picked a guy that was
masculine,
a little bit more imposing, because Paul he sort of starts out as like this young, but he's a mentat. He's like the chosen one. He's of a noble lineage. They could at least pick the guy with some stronger shoulders. You know what I mean? Like, this guy, like, he looked like fucking Tobey Maguire body.
He did, yeah. And I thought the same thing when he first came on screen. I was like quite certain that he was just going to be like a passing character that was going to be just like out of frame and out of the movie for the rest of it.
Yeah. Jason Momoa as Duncan Idaho. It's a little weird. It's a little bit of a race swap. But I like, maybe some guys will disagree with me here, but I do like Jason Momoa.
I like him too,
and I think that he did a good job there. The Asian guy to play Dr. What's his balls?
Ewan or something.
Yeah, I'm a little rusty, right?
That's all right. Yeah, like I said, I just watched this like 2 days ago.
And then you got like I mentioned, the Liet Kynes cast. They turned him into a black lady, which is like retarded.
That's kind of weird. That's like a big shift.
Yeah, that was really retarded. And then you got let me think, who else?
What was his dad's name?
Leto Atreides.
What do you think about his casting?
I thought he was good.
Yeah, I liked him. I liked him a lot. He was like, out of everyone in the movie, he seemed to like fill the role the best.
Yeah.
Because what's his? Oh my god, I don't remember what his name is. The one Harkonnen. They got that. Batista. Yeah, that I always am thrown off when they put Batista in movies.
Batista was dope.
Yeah,
I thought Batista.
I mean, if he was going to play anyone in that movie, that was his role.
Yeah, I thought Batista,
because the Harkonnen are so like weird and sinister looking.
Yeah, and that the way that they portrayed Vladimir Harkonnen, Baron Vladimir Harkonnen, was a little jarring at first, because Baron Vladimir Harkonnen, and even the way they picked him in the David Lynch film was kind of weird. He had like boils and weird stuff all over. But you know what? I got used to, because he was still cool. Like,
and that's another thing is he wasn't like you told me, he wasn't necessarily accurate to what he was in the novels, but I feel like even with the alteration, he still sort of captures that same vibe.
Yeah. So here's the thing with we talked about this before earlier today. Baron Harkonnen is supposed to have red hair. Red hair is like a signifier of like noble lineage, of higher birth and like ancient bloodlines and stuff in Dune. So it's like when Chani has red hair in the book, he doesn't explicitly say it in the book, at least that I remember, but it's like, this is somebody, and it's like libtards are just not going to understand that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They think that any what you look like is just completely cosmetic, because they're just essentialists, right? They're like retarded essentialists that aren't really essentialists, because they don't believe in the metaphysical, but they somehow believe that who you are and what you are is detached from your physical being and has no reflection on it. Right. So we talked about that earlier too, but they somehow have this contradiction where there is no metaphysical, but the self is metaphysical at the same time.
Right.
So it's like, it just makes no sense. So they just don't understand like things like that. Like, when we're reading the Edda, right? The Edda, when somebody has fair hair, or described as fair, having, whatever, like in Rigstula, that means that they are descended, they have like, special lineage.
Exactly.
Right. Libs don't understand that. They don't understand lineage. Even if even it's shoved in their face, they just don't see it, and they don't understand why that's important symbolism. And Frank Herbert, whether he consciously knew it or not, he put that in there. Here's what's special about Frank Herbert is he puts in a lot of mythopoetic themes in Dune, and it seems that he doesn't understand them. You know what I mean? He doesn't,
like, he just naturally did it.
He just naturally did it, which is really cool and special about Dune. The other casting, let me think. I liked Leto Atreides. I thought he was I think he's some kind of Hispanic guy, but he could pass for a Greek kind of looking.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
He looked good. He was a very good actor. Lady Jessica was, I think, I'm pretty sure she was. If I'm remembering right, she was just a beautiful woman, and she did very.
Yeah,
good.
she did fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was the older woman. What are they called? The Bene Gesserit.
Yeah, the Bene Gesserit, the Reverend Mothers.
Yeah, she was really ominous. She was like the one that had Paul put his hand in the box of pain.
Yeah. That was
a cool scene. I like that scene.
That's one of the most important parts of the whole Dune story.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, so we're going on half an hour. We could talk Dune for like hours and hours.
This just happens.
So overall, you liked Dune?
I absolutely did. Yeah, I want more of it. It definitely left me wanting for more.
I think I told you this a long time ago. I think that if you really dug into the books, you would like
this. Seems like something I get autistic about.
It's so weird and out there. And Frank Herbert does some literary techniques in the book that are just like that a lot of people criticize at the time and still criticize. Like he has like he'll write in all italics, and that represents people's inner thoughts.
Yeah, see, I like that. Yeah, I tried to do that in a couple of my stories, and then I get shit about it.
I know, because it's like it breaks rules.
Yeah.
So Frank Herbert was a genius. He was a genius, and Dune is in my opinion. Some people might push back on this, but I stand on this. I think is my opinion. Dune is a masterpiece, mythopoetic masterpiece of the caliber of Lord of the Rings.
And overall, I think they did a really good job. Like I said, without having proper context, I think they did a really good job with the film.
Yeah, Dune as a setting is probably the greatest sci-fi setting ever written. It was like probably the most influential. A lot of people point to Asimov's Foundation series. Foundation stinks. And Dune is brilliant.
Yeah. I think I'm going to look into the novels.
I have them all. I can loan them to you if you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'll loan you the first one because it's going to take you a year and a half to read it. So, okay. Moving on. Fingal says he has to say Dune isn't close to Lord of the Rings, but to each his own opinion. No, I big time disagree.
I think they're their own respective things.
Yeah. So let's move on. So Shane showed me this. I'm gonna show.
Oh fuck! Here we go.
I'm gonna show this to you guys.
Let's do it. I'm sure. I mean, hey, this has been going around the internet. I'm sure some of you have seen this already.
All right, and you guys in the chat, let me know if you have seen one of these before. Shane showed this to me, and I was like disgusted by the existence of this. Here, I'll show you. What the fuck is that?
Nice glands, bro.
You guys see that? It is a deer with fucking like glands on his skull. It's a.
I love this thing.
Do you have the thing up? What they do?
Yeah. So listen,
it's called the Muntjac deer,
and I had to do a little bit of research to figure out exactly what the fuck is going on here because it's so alien looking.
Read this creature's about it.
And what's crazy is what I have before me is like a fucking owner's manual on the Muntjac deer. So listen to this, right? It starts off normal and then it gets really weird. All right. Approaches a recognizable spot, sniffs it, opens its frontal and preorbital glands and tilts its head forward, applies its face on the ground and brushes its glands, raises its head, keeps its frontal glands, closes its frontal glands and keeps only the preorbital glands open. Now here's where it gets really fucking weird. Defecates while slapping both opened preorbital glands. What the fuck does that mean? What does slapping mean in this context?
I guess just like slaps its glands.
And then the last stage in this process is urinates while licking both opened preorbital glands.
Like simultaneous. Does it have like a forked tongue that goes out and like?
I don't know. I fucking need more context.
That infiltrates both glands.
Like, I love that in this fucking Muntjac Deer owner's manual, they threw out the word slapping so casually with no further explanation.
What,
What does it mean?
what is it? Preorbital gland. It has glands. And let me,
It has an orbital and preorbital glands.
We're gonna-
Not it has multiple glands.
we're gonna watch this again. I'm gonna show you guys again how absolutely bizarre this creature is. Right? I'm probably gonna write a cosmic horror short story about it. Oh God. Oh.
It just pushes them out.
Oh God. Should be ashamed of itself.
I fucking love that this exists.
I hate it.
If like anything was dropped off on our planet from elsewhere, it was this fucking thing.
I hate the Muntjac deer.
The Muntjac. And I have to bring it up because I told you I would. I read the name Muntjac and I immediately
How do they fight though? You know how deers like smash their heads together? Do they like mush their glands?
I think that's how they mate,
But how do they fight?
with their genitals.
They got it backwards.
But yeah, so I saw Muntjac deer, and obviously I immediately thought of munting.
What is munting?
I don't know how many of you guys in the chat are as degenerate as I am, but
Guys, it's something
buckle
we shouldn't
up.
Say.
All right, so
Should I
basically,
Google it?
nope, because I'm about to tell you what it is.
Okay.
So essentially, what munting is where you and I don't know what you want to call him, another necro aficionado, another necro indulgent, an associate, an accomplice, if you will, you and one of your like-minded friends
What is the necro? I necro.
go out in the dead of night and you exhume a ripened corpse, and one of you places your mouth around their genitals, and the other one plunges down in a giant stomp upon their abdomen, expelling all of their viscera and offal into the mouth of the receiver at the bottom.
Go!
A nightly munting.
Why? Who came up with that?
Some really good guys.
My Christmas is ruined.
This year and next year's.
So they they find like a fresh body, right? They dig it up.
No, I think it's
like-
better if it's not fresh. I think they got to be a little extra juicy and loose.
And the one guy goes like
Yeah, I guess it depends on whether it's a male or female,
like
but
a garden hose.
yeah, you just like make a seal around their whatever orifice of your choice, while the other one,
Jumps on it and then it squirts out like a toothpaste tube.
yeah, all inside of their
Oh my goodness.
inside of their receptacle.
Harry says, "Admit it, you just made that up."
No, Google that shit, dog.
I don't want to Google it.
I grew up. I'm not gonna say I grew up munting, but I grew up with the knowledge of munting. Munting, born and raised.
I've been munting since way back.
Proud receiver over here.
They call him a drinker.
I still sip and suck.
Yeah. I'll chug, you stomp.
Take the plunge. I'll chug, you stomp.
That might be the most just revolting thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
I would like to think that it's not a real thing, but another part of me hopes it is.
That's so bad. So anyway,
What a romantic date.
oh god. So anyway, on to less
Grotesque.
less grotesque topics. You watched a film pretty recently called The Lighthouse.
Yes, I did. I watched The Lighthouse, which has been out for a while. I'm late to the show on this, but
Is that cigarettes you got there?
it's not cigarettes. It's my little nicotine pouches because I don't smoke anymore.
I was about to bum a cigarette from you.
You can bum one of these if you want.
Nah, I don't want that. It can be hiccups. They're nasty.
Yeah, but Lighthouse, I heard heard about this new cosmic horror film coming out called The Lighthouse, and I slept on it for a while and eventually got around to watching it the other day. I might actually watch. I spent the last week just binging movies because I didn't have anything better to do.
Yeah, I feel it.
And yeah, it's fucking awesome. Black and white movie has what's his name? Robert Pattinson. Is that his name? The fucking twinkly vampire from Twilight. Playing alongside Huge Dong Willem Dafoe.
The Dongoloid.
If you guys don't know about that, look up Willem Dafoe, Huge Dong.
Well,
yeah, it's this movie about these two this really old. First of all, it takes place in 1893 or something like that, and it follows the story of these two lighthouse wickies that are dropped off on this rock out in the ocean to man this old ass lighthouse. And the movie's done in black and white, and the ambiance is just it's so perfectly attuned to that specific time period. And Willem Dafoe's performance of this old crotchety, salty sea dog of a man
salty dog.
is so incredible. And honestly, Robert Pattinson's performance, I wasn't expecting much after the whole Twilight fiasco, but he really knocked it out of the park. Yeah. And this is in true cosmic horror fashion. It's a slow burn, but a very measured and steady decline into certain madness that escalates brilliantly to this crescendoing climax of horrific, terrifying insanity at the end.
I got the trailer loaded up.
Yeah, fucking let's do it.
Tell me, what's a timberman want with being a wiki?
Just looking to earn a living, just like any man. Starting new.
On the run. Keeping secrets, are you?
No, sir.
Why don't you spill your beans? Why don't you spill your beans? Why don't you spill your beans? How long have we been on this rock? 5 weeks? 2 days? Help me to recollect.
So yeah, so essentially it's about these two guys that end up being stranded on this island with this lighthouse after this horrible storm blows in, and they end up running out of provisions for a while, and they end up they start drinking heavily every night to pass the time by. And Willem Dafoe's character is this old superstitious seaman that's just been working the same lighthouse for years and years. And Patterson's character ends up killing this seagull against the wishes or the warnings of Defoe's character, stating it's bad luck to kill a seabird. And once he kills it, the storm rolls in, marooning him on the island. And throughout the whole film, there's this really weird, bizarre, cosmic stuff going on with Defoe up in the beacon of the lighthouse. And it just spirals out of control into this just catastrophic ending of cosmic proportions.
Mm-hmm. I watched like the first 20 minutes of it and turned it off.
Yeah, you don't have the patience for slow burn movies.
Yeah. It's I was a little bit worried it was gonna end up like Brokeback Mountain.
You thought they were gonna end up fucking at the end?
Yeah, I thought it was gonna end up being something.
Could you imagine sitting through like 90 minutes of film and then at the end it turns out you're gay?
Yeah, it's it was like I don't know, but I'll go back and check it out. And I'm also pretty critical of A24 because A24 has put out like maybe like 2 movies that I didn't hate. I do like what's that? Robert Eggers, that guy. He did the Northman or Norseman or whatever that movie.
Oh
was.
my god, that was such a good movie.
That was a dope movie.
We were overdue for a pretty accurate time period movie, and they delivered.
Yeah. So yeah, I like him. I did watch The Witch. I thought The Witch was pretty cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah, The Witch with oh my god, what was the goat's name? Wouldst thou like to live deliciously? That was a fucking creepy. That was also a slow burn.
Yeah, but I did make it through The Witch. I made it through The Witch.
Yeah.
I didn't love it, but I thought it was okay.
I thought it was like pretty uncanny the whole way through. It was good.
Yeah. What was that movie you made me watch that I hated? Barely made it through.
Oh my god, what was that? Mother, yeah.
Yeah. You guys could go back and watch the episode Mother and hear my reaction to it. But yeah, so the Lighthouse, I'll check it out. I watched and
if you like cosmic horror, and I know you do.
I do.
It's not in the same vein of cosmic horror as the film adaptation of Color Out of Space, but it is definitely its own true to genre depiction of cosmic horror.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't like black and white. I'll be honest with you.
I'm not a fan either, but I think it suited the movie well.
I didn't grow up with it, so it's like it doesn't have any sort of value to me. And when modern movies who can do color,
I feel like it was a very big artistic and creative choice that they made for that movie, and in my opinion, it paid off.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I'm not against it. Yeah. So yeah, the Lighthouse. Yeah, I'll take a look.
I do recommend it to any of you that haven't watched it and you're fans of cosmic horror. Check it out.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. So we got some time left. Do you want to open up the phones again?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, we're gonna open up the phones. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat, and anybody wants to hop on and yak with us can do so. Let me get this in here. Nothing too spicy. Dave's monetized again. You can't. No bad words.
Jalapeno, no habanero.
Jalapeno, no habanero. If you guys want to talk scumbag stuff, we can get on Telegram. We can go be scumbags over there. Yeah, there's the
exercise code.
Yeah. Yeah. Act like your grandma's around. If your grandma's like a scumbag.
Not a scumbag.
Why?
If your grandma's not a scumbag. You said act like you would if your grandma's a scumbag. That means you wouldn't have to hide anything.
No, but okay. So if you had like a moderately unsavory grandma, That's what we are right now.
If there's one thing we like here on the BIZARCAST, it's a savory grandma.
Yeah. We sure like them savory grandmas. A couple of savory gentlemen here to party.
Couple of savory gentlemen here to please. Whenever I hear savory, I just think salty.
I like the word savory. It sounds, especially applied to humans, it sounds weird.
Makes it sound like we're getting ready to eat each other.
Yeah, but not in a
Not a munting kind of way.
not
just savory munting.
no, munting is objectively unsavory.
I would beg to differ.
No, yeah. It's because you come from Munt country.
Muntry.
You come from
I come from Muntry.
You come from the old Muntry. I'll tell you what.
I come from the old Muntry.
Yeah. All right. Yes.
Hey, kids, why isn't anyone called yet?
I don't know. They can't. do it.
Fucking call us.
Let's get somebody in here.
We're so lonely.
Yeah.
Please call.
We're a couple of lonely boys.
Just a couple of lonely soft boys.
Couple of lost soft boys.
A couple of losties.
Just a bunch of savory little losties.
A couple of savory foamy losties.
Geezer asked Dave, "What's your favorite pipe tobacco?" I like so when it comes to pipe tobacco, it comes to that kind of stuff. Oh, we got a guy in here. I don't have a brand that I go to. I usually just go and smell them and pick one that I like. Donning Armor, what's up, bub?
Hey, what's going on, gentlemen?
Thank you for answering our call.
I have terrible sound quality. I'm going to have to restart and I'll come back. I just wanted to say hi anyway.
Hi.
What's up, bub?
Give me I have to leave and come back. For some reason my sound quality is completely ruined right now.
We'll be here.
See you in a minute, Donning Armor. Bingo says he loves the rarded. The rarded dynamic.
That's us.
Well, how do you do?
This is a couple of fucking retarded cavemen.
There's a couple of rards. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the name of the tobacco I used to smoke. It's eluding me.
BS says, he goes, I was lucky enough to get a tin of Jermaine's Brown Flake the other day. Fantastic blend.
Dude, you'd be surprised how fast some of this shit goes out of stock.
Really?
Yeah, as soon as it like hits the websites, it's gone. It's insane.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised, to be honest. Guys like especially guys that are smoking the pipes.
Sorry.
What
What is this shit called? Oh, I used to, yeah. I think it was made by, what is it? I'm like looking it up right now. I think the tobacco I used to use is called Cult.
Geezer says, I'm England. He
I am England.
I'm England. He's not English. I am England.
I am all that is England.
Address me. Address me as England. He says, I'm England. Smoke plenty of Samuel Garth.
Do you say Garth?
Garth? Goeth? I don't know.
what-
I never
how
heard
it's
of that. I
pronounced?
never heard of that before.
No clue.
Geezer, do you say Samuel or do you say like Samuel? They do. They say like
Samuel.
They also say like, you ever hear a British guy say Jaguar?
No.
They say Jaguar.
Jaguar. You know what though? That's something I appreciate about the English is their penchant for enunciation.
I know. It's just like they sound like
Aluminium.
garage. They sound like the Knights of the Round Table, and we sound like a couple of fat retards.
Oh, sometimes you guys put the emphasis on the wrong syllable.
The syllable.
I heard that years ago. I can't remember where the fuck it's from.
The syllable.
I did not make that up.
Got a Jaguar in my garage.
Jag off you are, says Vingle. Jug off you are.
He's a Cockney. I don't talk posh. Oi, sorry, bruv.
I respect
Sorry,
it.
bruv.
Jesus Christ. You fucking try to kill your audience?
Yeah. Oi, bruv. That's how they talk, though. They say, oi, bruv.
Listen, you know what? I love Cockney accents. Fuck if I can understand you guys half the time. You have so much slang in your vocabulary. It's impossible for a foreigner to keep up with you.
It's not that bad. Once you get used to, like, BIZARCAST, we got tons of Brit bongs, so I've gotten pretty used to it. But like those guys, when they get in, they start talking.
Yeah, it's like they can dumb it down for us Americans to the point where we can understand it. But if you like overhear a conversation between a few of them talking amongst themselves, it's like another language.
It's they have like a lot of slang words for stuff that we don't got, right?
I like it though. It reminds me of Clockwork Orange. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. It's just like I'll tell you, it does feel kind of lousy. Like you hear these guys, they sound they have like this very cool accent, this dialect that they use is very unique and like connected to like very old ways of talking, and we're just like, hey, yo, jerk off.
Yeah, here we are pronouncing our O's hard.
Yeah.
We got like yins and y'alls.
Yeah, Bingle said, you what, mate? You what? Yeah.
Where's this guy said he was
we're
going
just
to come
fucking-
right back?
Yeah, we're about to shut it down. Yo, donning armor, you got like 2 minutes, dog.
Fucking return.
Yeah, Geezer says, you've heard Morgoth. He's a northerner, a Geordie. Yeah, Morgoth, he I love Morgoth. I was on his show. I'm friendly with Morgoth. Yeah, it's a little bit of a name drop flex there. Yeah, I know these important guys. I know a few. I got a few friends in high places, if you will.
I got a few high friends in places.
I've been to some high places.
I've got friends.
I've been high. Yeah, Morgoth is like actually a really cool, nice guy, and really into the kind of stuff that we're into. And he's just the man, right? I'm a big fan of Morgoth and his content. I've been watching his content for a long time, so he's really great. As a Geordie, you're talking about Geordies. We have a few Geordies that are with the BIZARCAST. A. Cuthbertson, you guys know A. Cuthbertson, author of Spire and Cosmic Horror Double Feature. He's a Geordie. We got, I believe MS Jones is a Geordie, a guy that appears a few times. Aaron Geeson, he's a Geordie. So we got like Geordies.
It's kind of crazy how many European guys we have in the BIZARCAST.
Yeah, we got like half of our crew are British guys. Pretty cool. I fuck with it. I like it. All right, donning armor, you're holding us up now.
You're fired.
You're fired.
Banned.
You're exiled.
Stripped of all your lands and titles.
You are munted.
Prepare to get munted.
Prepare to munt.
Prepare. We sentence you to one munting. You are the receiver.
You are the one that shall be munted.
Don't ruin your appetite.
Prepare for a live munting.
A live munting? Oh, fuck. I don't know, like, who's the loser in that situation?
I don't know.
All right, someone else call.
Yeah, somebody else call.
Get the fuck in here.
Someone else call. We'll take one more. He's got like 1 minute, and then we're gonna put it in here. You guys got 1 minute if anybody wants to hop in and yak. If not, we're gonna shut it down for this evening. We'll be back next week, or maybe sooner,
Or maybe later.
or maybe later, maybe never if we die.
Jesus
If
Christ.
one of us dies.
No, if one of us dies, we'll probably still be back
Yeah.
from the grave.
It's just like I just have like Shane. He's like all sewn up and pale and weird.
I just had like this image of me like operating your cadaver like a marionette.
Just like
The weekend at Bernieing you.
Weekend at Dave's. I actually wrote a movie script, a comedy script, like years ago. That was sort of similar to a Weekend at Bernie's type situation. It was going to be like a raunchy bro comedy where a bunch of dudes that are buddies accidentally kill a guy. The story of the movie was going to be so there's these dudes, right? There's like squad like bros, and they go visit this weird like hippie guy that they buy drugs from, and they buy like weird psychedelics from him sometimes. And they bought this weird psychedelic from him, and they buy it or whatever, and they're like tripping balls and like freaking out and being weird. And then they like find this homeless guy and like, yo, take some of this, and they give it to him. And they go into this bar and they come out, and when they're in the bar, the hobo like gets hit by a car, and they come out and he's like dead on the side of the road, and like, we poisoned him, we killed him. So there's like, they're like, we're gonna get so much trouble. So they take the body, and they're like, how do we gotta get rid of this body? And they come up with all these like cockamamie schemes to like dispose of this body. And one of the cockamamie schemes was they were going to take it up to the one dude's work where they're doing construction and throw it into the hole where they're doing construction and pour cement on it. So what they do, they're like, okay, but we got to get past the security guards. So the one guy's like, they're like, how do we make it? Like, he looks fucked up. How are we going to do to get him past the security guards? They're like, the one guy's like, don't worry, I got this. I grew up with a sister. So he goes, he gets his makeup. You're like, you're gonna put makeup on it? He's like, what are you, a fucking funeral parlor? He's like, yeah, just trust me. And like he starts putting the stuff on the next scene. It's like all smeared all over his face and it looks terrible. They're like, bro, he looks fucked up. Like, this is worse. So they're like, all right, so what are we gonna do? He's like, the one guy's like, okay, I got another idea. And then it cuts back. And he's like dressed up like a clown. They mess him up like a clown. So they're like driving up, and they got the corpse in the front seat. And they like go past. They're like, oh wait, there's no security guard. We're gonna get right past. The security guard comes out. He's like, stop! And they hit the brakes. And the clown smashes his face on the dash. It was like a ton of
hilarious. I'd watch this.
Yeah. There's like a ton of shit like that. So that's my idea for a raunchy bro comedy I had years ago.
We should co-write a story. Something like that.
It would be so gross and weird.
Yeah.
We should do that. Once we get into the role of making movies, because we're getting ready to start doing films. When we start getting into doing movies, me and you should team up on a comedy.
Yeah, absolutely. Wait, like, are we going to be in it?
Yeah. I don't know. Should we?
Yeah.
Maybe not.
I honestly feel like if every Saturday when we got together, if we just put a camera on us and had no content planned, we could have like a really successful
I don't think so.
buddy sitcom.
I don't think so at all. I think that maybe like the 12 people that watch my shows would think it's funny, and everybody else is just gonna think it's weird.
That's enough for a cult following.
Somebody might call the police.
Hell yeah. That's how you know you've made it.
Yeah. All right, donning armor, you're about to get fired, bud.
We already fired him
He's fired.
and banished him.
He's banished.
Exiled.
Munted.
Stripped.
All right, that's it. We're closing out. All right, boys. I appreciate everybody. Thank you to none of you that called in. That was a lot of
Pieces of shit.
I'm just kidding. It's all good. It's all good. It's really late, and we just did this stream out of nowhere. We're like abusing, whatever. But anyway, I do appreciate you guys. Much love, many blessings to all you guys. I appreciate all you guys that support the BIZARCAST, buy books, and all that stuff. And go to thebizarcast.com. Check out some books if you haven't already. Follow us on Twitter and Telegram at the BIZARCAST, and sub to our Substack, dude. But for like $5 lousy bucks a month, you get free ebooks, all kinds of cool articles, and paranormal transmissions, which is people's real life account. Actually, you want to hold up.
What are we doing?
Press 9 in the chat if you want to do an end segment showing the newest.
You didn't finish your fucking thought.
The newest whatchamacallit.
Yeah.
Paranormal transmission.
Yeah, guys, hit 9 in the chat if you want to see the newest whatchamacallit.
Hey, they know what I'm saying. What do you think this is? Some kind of fucking. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. UFO Ohio. Okay. Here we go. So I'm going to read this to you guys here. This is pretty cool. Jay, I want to read this to you.
All right, let me hear it.
So this is probably the second or third. I think this is the third UFO. Well, this isn't really a UFO one. This is pretty weird.
Okay.
So this is called the author sent this to me, this account, and he called it like the Weird Month or something. But he's from Ohio, and he wrote it. It's sort of about a UFO, so I'd change the title to UFO Ohio.
Okay.
I thought that was a pretty clever. So paranormal transmission. So this is what the guy says. He says, some years back, my family had a really weird month following some unexplainable phenomenon. I'd say it was some sort of fourth kind or UFO experience, but it doesn't match up with any type of sighting I've read on the internet or seen on TV. I simply don't know what happened, but it was truly bizarre. It was summer of 2011, and my family was living in rural Ohio. We bought a rancher with 2 acres out in farmlands. If you've ever been to Ohio, it is very flat. It can be quite beautiful with the skies that go on and on. I'm a Maryland transplant and grew up on the Bay. But as Maryland got more expensive, we decided to go somewhere cheaper. I started a web design business in 2005, and I was working from home. We wanted to homeschool and kind of live the homestead life. So that's what we did. Ours was a 4-bedroom single floor that had a beautiful wraparound porch. So summer nights, I'd sit on the porch at night and sip some whiskey while I worked on my laptop. There was no light pollution, so you could see the whole night sky. My son was 4 and just beginning to sleep in his own room, and our twin daughters were both 18 months. They had cribs in our room, my wife insisted. Some of what I'm going to describe is going to be hard to put into words. I'm not sure there's words in our language that can exactly capture what we experienced. One night we were all sleeping and the entire house lit up with a blinding blue-white light, a slow flash that lasted maybe a half second. It was so bright it hurt my eyes. This light was accompanied by a whooping, warping sound that vibrated the house. Like I said, maybe half a second, but it was so intense it woke everyone up. My wife sat straight up and the baby started crying. I hopped right up to grab my shotgun, and my son was standing in our room distraught. I laid him in the bed and investigated the house. There was nothing. All the doors were locked and nothing was disturbed. Nothing outside, just nothing. We chalked it up to a low-flying jet, except one thing was odd. The lights didn't flip on. The breaker was blown. I tripped it back on and went back to bed. My son was extremely upset and refused to go back to his room. He said there were little skeletons in his room. It sounded like a typical kid thing to say, but he told a pretty elaborate story about them and explained them in great detail. At the time, I thought it was kid stories from being spooked by the light. He's now a teenager and maintains what he saw. The next day, my wife went to drive into town for some groceries, and her car didn't start. I went out to give her a jump with my truck, also dead. I rode my bike down to the neighbor's house, and he drove up to jump us. That evening, I was sitting on the porch working on the laptop. What I saw in the sky was very strange. As I was looking up at the sky, it shifted. A huge portion of the sky over my house shifted over. I have no idea how to explain it. Like a tectonic plate moved over slightly, creating a weird mirror effect, and then immediately blending back to normal. Like there was a huge plate chameleoning to the sky, to the night sky. It was so disoriented and unsettling, I packed up and went inside. From here, my family's behavior became really abnormal over the next month. My son began sleepwalking and acting really strange. In sleep state, he would walk out in the front door and stand on the porch staring into the darkness. Other times, he would sit in front of the TV and stare at the screen while it was off. Then after I woke him, he would tell me about cartoons he saw that didn't exist. Whole episode storylines about characters and shows that I couldn't find anything about online. They even had theme songs. It was quite a bit for a 4-year-old to make up. No crazy alien stuff. Just shows about animal characters making friends and going on adventures. Typical kid stuff, but completely made up. My wife, who's a very agreeable, easygoing lass, gradually became an obsessive-compulsive insomniac. She'd stay up all night cleaning the same places over and over. She became combative and neurotic. We fought constantly. My daughters, who were smiley, happy babies, became miserable. They would never sleep, refused to eat what they used to, and started having hour-long tantrums. A few weeks in, while I was brushing my teeth, my bottom tooth fell out. Probably completely unrelated, but my uncle is a dentist. I've always had perfect teeth. The dentist didn't believe my story and insisted that I must have had an accident. I didn't. Another thing that was the nightmares. I started having horrible, disjointed fever dreams every night and woke up every morning feeling exhausted. After an entire month of slowly becoming a madhouse, I packed everyone up for a week in Florida. We watched as they reverted back to normal. We went home and everything was normal again. We lived there until a couple of years ago. We moved back to Maryland to take care of my parents. I have no idea what that was. I couldn't tell you if it was UFOs or paranormal activity, but it was extremely strange. Maybe some interdimensional rift that messed up the magnetic field. I'm making that up, but it doesn't sound far-fetched after all that happened. The end.
That is insane. It's the fucking like tooth thing immediately made me think of Tommy Knockers, Stephen King's Tommy Knockers, which by the way is a great Stephen King story. I know Stephen King is a bit controversial, but Tommy Knockers is an awesome extraterrestrial story. And in the story, God damn it.
A guy from V says, obviously the child is gay and needs transition. That's evidence, bro. You chop it off, bro.
But that whole the sky shifting like a tectonic plate is like, how do you think of shit like that? Like if someone were to make that up, like how would you even think of shit like that? That is so abstractly insane. What a like wild thing to witness.
And you know what? This is another thing that's strange with this guy's story is now obviously the tooth thing that could be unrelated, right? It could be just like maybe he could have been exhausted and like fell off the bed in his sleep. And
yeah, there could be an explanation.
That could be whatever. But the fact that it happened during all of this is like pretty weird. But what stands out is this guy described something that happened to me, and then also something that appeared in another one of our UFO stories, and that is the description of the white light.
Yeah.
Right? And the white light that appears and there's a vibration and this he described as like a warping sound.
Yeah.
Or like another guy said it was perfectly said like a warble sound. Did I ever tell you about when me and my wife saw like what we believed to be like a UFO experience?
I don't believe so.
I believe it was New Year's on 2012 or I think it was 2011. 2012, 2011, around that time. And we were living in New Jersey, and we were living with the in-laws. They went out for the night, and
Right.
me and my wife were home alone. As before we had kids and everything. And they're home alone, and there was this like weird weird vibration, and then this bright, blinding blue-white light that illuminated the entire house, like this like flash. It was just like in this, it was so bright that it literally, after it was gone, I couldn't see, and like when my vision came back, it was like blurry, and I was seeing spots. That's how bright it was. And I don't know if you were at our house where we lived. It's like in a development in suburbia. It's not like we're in the country. It was suburbia, and there's this sound. It was like this weird sound, and like my first idea was, I thought it like a Hayabusa motorcycle, like some like super motorcycle went down like a gazillion miles an hour down our street. And the first thing I did is I ran out and opened the door to see what it was. It like vibrated the house. It's like it was bizarre, right? And I went out and looked. It was like almost every neighbor within eyeshot did the same thing. Went outside and looked. And we like looked at each other like it was like, what the fuck? And then we went back inside.
So weird.
It was otherworldly.
Now, I've never had any potentially extraterrestrial experience to speak of, but when I was younger, my father and I would go hunting together, and we'd wake up, pre-dawn and be out at the spot before the sun was even up. You know what I mean? Well, one day we're parked at the entrance to where we usually go to hike into the woods to set up. And we're sitting there for a little bit drinking coffee, and he begins telling me the story of this very spot years prior. He was sitting up here alone, getting ready to go out hunting. And in this particular spot, we was at this this farmland where the owner of the property gave us permission to hunt his land, because further in past the pastures there was a good section of forest that frequently had a decent amount of deer in it. Well, anyway, he's telling me one morning a couple years ago, he's sitting out here long pre-dawn. I forget what he said his reason for being out there was, but he said he was out there. It was like very early, like 3 a.m. or something. He's sitting there, and he says he recalled to me this very accurate, perfectly recalled description of a craft he saw over and I mean up close and personal. He said over this field there appeared this cigar-shaped craft that hovered over the field, and it made absolutely no sound. And he said along the side of it, he said it was seamless. He couldn't spot a single seam or rivet upon its surface. And he said along the side of it, there were these porthole-like windows. And inside the windows, he said he recalled he was surprised to see that inside the windows looking out at him appeared to be just human faces looking back at him.
What?
Yeah. And he said he got out of his car and stood there, out of his pickup truck, and stood there looking at this thing. And he said the back of it sort of flared out a little bit, and there was like this like weird steel mesh that covered the back side of it over these hollow openings, but it was completely soundless. Anyway, he said he stood there for maybe a total of like 3 minutes or so looking at this thing before it fucking just vanished. And he said that the next thing he knew, by the time the experience was over, he looked over and the sun was coming up over the horizon, which means it was like 3 a.m., which means that like 2.5 hours had passed in his and what he experienced is like 3 minutes looking at this thing.
Wow.
Fucking bizarre.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Recovering Libertarian says New Jersey has the most UFO sightings. You know what? When I lived in Jersey, there was like a lot of people. Like not a lot, but I probably ran into like 9-10 different people that had UFO stories. Like most of them are pretty like mundane. They just like said they saw, and this UFO stuff. Like remember Donald Trump came out and was like, "Yep, UFOs are real," and they like because they couldn't hide. There's like so many sightings and so many recordings. That one that was like from that, it was like a commercial airplane, like 10 people recorded it. That weird shifting thing in the sky. Like there's Air Force, Navy recordings of it. They can't hide it anymore.
Yeah.
Too many people have recorded it, so they've admitted it. There's even like I should have uploaded it if I knew we were going to talk about UFOs. But there's a lady that described this UFO that was like sitting over this city, right? She was from NASA. And she's like, we've tried to communicate with it. It does not appear to be hostile. I highly suggest that United States, this is like before Congress, right?
Yeah.
I highly suggest that the United States military does not act against the thing. This is an unidentified flying. This is literally legit stuff. UFOs are real. They're real. Like it's not like a conspiracy anymore. But my wife's uncle has a story. He lives in Jersey. He's from Jersey. And he had this story of one time him and his buddies were camping and they looked up in the sky and they saw this gigantic, like absolutely massive, like triangle shape, just like floating right above over the woods. And they're just like looking up at it. And these like fighter jets, like, government fighter jets come zooming out of the distance, like full bore, trying to like coming up on it. And right when they got like to its tail, it just went, it just vanished and left them in the dust.
That's insane. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. With so many reports and so many sightings, like, how could you possibly not think that there's something?
Yeah. Ryan Orion says they're real craft from the German breakaway civilization. He thinks that they're coming out of Neuschwabenland.
Based. Yeah.
I do know
I'm here for it.
I do know the whole spiel behind Neuschwabenland and Operation High Jump and all that kind of stuff, but I still think that they're actually aliens. I do think. In fact, I think that they come. I think they come from inner Earth. I don't think that they're physical beings. I think that they're some sort of weird metaphysical beings. Because with the UFOs, they're not just like flying UFO aircraft, right? They're like weird. Sometimes they're made of pure energy and they shift different shapes, like in midair. Like they're not like manned crafts. There's something else. So I just don't. I don't really believe that it's the last living survivors of the Reich. I think that they are legit stuff. Yeah. He says Admiral Byrd. Yeah, Admiral Byrd in Operation High Jump. Harry no, Neuschwabenland. New Swabia, Neuschwabenland. The Germans had a base in Antarctica that they called Neuschwabenland. Yeah. User says Hyperborea. Yeah. So that's I don't think that inner Earth is a physical place. I think that it is a metaphysical place. I think it's some kind of a like in between spiritual realm. I don't think that it's whatever. I don't think it's like we can like dig a hole and go there. I think it's you have to go through like some sort of portal or something like that. And that's where the beings live. They live in this other dimension that is, beneath us in the center of the earth. And I think that they come out and do stuff like with the cattle and people, and they interact with us in certain ways. And there's a lot of crazy stuff like declassified documents about the Greys and like all these kinds of different aliens and stuff like that. And so. I don't know. I'm not saying it's 100%, but I think that it's certainly interesting, right? I think it's
definitely interesting.
There's something in the sky. I will say that definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I find the concept of denying extraterrestrials so fucking ludicrously ridiculous.
Well, you got the Fermi paradox, right?
Yeah, the Fermi paradox, and which is terrifying in its own right. But I mean,
Why do you say it's terrifying?
well, because either scenario isn't great. You know, if we're alone, that's fucking absolutely. I mean, could you imagine anything more like horribly lonely than that?
Do you know about the I forget what the system is, but there's a system like a galaxy that's sort of close to us, and I can't remember what the name of it is, but it's this giant black void. Have you heard about that?
Oh yeah, the Great Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Or are you talking about the Great Attractor or the Super Void?
The super void.
The Super Void, yeah. That's super bizarre in its own right. Like the fact that there's a span of what is it, millions of light years across that is just inhabited by what, a handful of galaxies where there should be, tens of thousands. That's terrifying. There's just absolute nothingness.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, oh my God, we're about to get into this. The scale of the universe is so fucking mind-boggling. I mean, like your average everyday person, like, truly cannot wrap their head around the vastness of space. Like, I just like read the other day that if you were to scale our sun down to the fucking size of a white blood cell, then the entirety of the Milky Way galaxy would be the size of the continental United States. Like, we're dealing with scales that are beyond comprehension for your everyday person. The odds that we are fucking alone is so wildly unlikely. There's no fucking way.
Yeah. So, have you heard some of the kooky theories about the super void?
No. Well, maybe. I don't know. What do you got?
Well, one of the theories about the void, the void is like pretty spooky because number one, it's expanding, right?
Yeah.
Number one, it's expanding. It is an entire galaxy of black, like nothing there, right? And
this is an area of space of black.
Yeah. It's a huge area of space.
Yeah. You said galaxy.
No, well, it's about the size of a galaxy.
No, it's way, way bigger.
Really?
I mean, we're talking a section of the universe of black that should have
stars.
No, it should have tens of thousands of galaxies in it, but instead has a handful. I'm talking like, I don't know what it said, like maybe 63 galaxies or something like that, where it should have like an insane amount of galaxies in it.
So one of the kooky theories, and this is from like an astrologist, or an astronomist, whatever. This is from an astronomist. This isn't from like, somebody that makes like, some boomer on BitChute making cockamamie videos. This is like from a guy that's in the field, right? And he said that his theory is that it is like a stage 5 civilization that was there that harvested.
I don't understand what just happened, but whatever you just said set off my Siri. Go on.
Okay. Siri's listening in. Yeah. So
they're tuning in.
The theory says is it was a stage 5 civilization.
Oh, I did hear this. Yeah, and they're harnessing the energy from the suns. They're encasing them and harvesting their energy, therefore blacking out the light of surrounding galaxies, and that's why it's growing.
And us seeing this is like 150 million years old.
Yeah.
So they're already
gone. Way advanced past that.
Or long gone.
Well, I mean, I don't know about long gone, but what we're seeing, if it's that far in the past, means that they could have been continuing to progress for hundreds of millions of years beyond what we're seeing now.
They're coming.
They're fucking coming. Yeah. what are they called? Dyson spheres. That's what the device that's built around stars to harvest their energy is called. A Dyson sphere. And the type of civilization that would like the advancement of the civilization is insane. This is, like you said, I believe stage 5 civilization. To put that in context for anyone that doesn't know, we on Earth aren't even considered a stage 1 civilization yet.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna reach a stage 2. I actually think that
We're
what's that scale called?
I don't remember, but it's estimated that we'll become a stage 1 civilization within about 200 years.
I think
yes, like a Dyson vacuum cleaner, a Dyson sphere.
I be honest with you, I think all that's bullshit.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I don't think that that is a stage. Maybe it's some like hyper advanced civilization out there, but they're not going to be anything like humans.
No, they'd be so far beyond advanced, so far advanced beyond anything that we could associate with.
I think that they are probably some kind of robot.
I mean, that would be possible. I mean, I definitely wouldn't rule it out.
Yeah, there's some kind of robot.
I mean, at a certain point in advancing, organic matter becomes obsolete.
Yeah. So I think that space is gay and science is gay, and I don't think that we should go into outer space. I think that I sort of don't think it's real.
I think we should go into outer space.
Why?
Because there's ancient horrors lurking out there that need to be fed.
That's the worst idea. That's the worst reason.
Yeah.
You probably should have said something that was a little bit not like that.
No. Fuck you. Where's my fellow cultists at?
Where are the cultists at? Yeah, because it's like the way that did you see that that thing? What's his name? Not Captain Picard. Who's the first captain? Star Trek captain.
I don't know
Captain
anything
Kirk.
about Star Trek.
It's William Shatner. You know who William Shatner is?
Yeah.
William Shatner actually went into outer space pretty recently. And he's been, because he's a Star Trek guy. He's been fantasized about seeing outer space his whole life. He's like a million gorillion years old. He's probably kept alive by weird pills, like weird pharmaceuticals that they have in Hollywood. And
right.
Probably you shoot him up with rejuvenation treatments to keep his flesh from falling off of
keep his flesh from sloughing off his bones.
His slowly atrophying.
They have like a team of specialists that keeps him from losing physical cohesion.
Yeah, they just grow like new skins for him all the time.
He just replaces them like suits he molts.
Yeah. Yeah. So he went into outer space and something that he was like looking forward to, and he described it. He's like it is the most bone chilling, lonely, horrible feeling you'll ever feel is to look out into black space. He's like, there is no life there. He's like, it is inhospitable. We belong on Earth.
I wouldn't go there.
Not me.
It's been like, if I had like one true dream that will probably never be realized, it's to go to space.
Yeah, I don't want to go to space at all, ever, for any reason.
I would 10 times out of 10 go to space before I'd get on a boat and go out into the ocean.
I would rather build subaquatic civilization.
Fuck that.
Why?
I don't fuck with the ocean.
You fuck with space.
Yeah, space is vast and massive, and the ocean is right next door and filled with horrors that we know exist.
Like what? Sharks?
Everything in the ocean is a terror. You know what? You're just simply not in your world anymore. You step in the ocean and you go from being an apex predator to being far lower on the scale.
Yeah, like even like a dolphin can fuck you up.
Even a dolphin can fuck you. Yeah. Fuck you up. They will just bone you.
Pretty much this is just a sneaky way for me to get into my idea of starting a dolphin milk business.
Dolphin milk.
Yeah, press 9 in the chat if you would drink dolphin milk.
What's it? What do you think dolphin milk is like high in? High octane.
It's probably high in cream.
Good old creamy dolphin milk from them dolphin mammalian teats.
Got them dolphin mams.
Them dolphin mams that open like Corvette headlights.
Oh yeah,
Hell yes.
Like a Corvette headlight. Yeah.
So what your idea is to create a subaquatic dolphin milk farm?
Yeah.
Does that mean we're gonna have to? Do you have to breed dolphins to make them lactate, or will like stimuli be enough?
I think you just like rub them.
So we rub them till they provide us with their savory creams.
Mm-hmm. Probably really nutritious.
It's probably far more nutritious than this fucking simple cow milk. Weak cow lactate.
Speaking of cows, we could do manatee milk.
Yes. That's high in fat right there.
That's a whole
That'll
lot
keep
of
you
cream.
going through a winter.
Whole lot of cream.
That'll sustain you.
I want to call this underwater city Atlantica.
Atlantica?
Mm-hmm.
We should call it. We should call it Sea Milk Empire.
Sea Milkia.
We could call it the Milky Sea Foam Dynasty.
Geezer says bottom of ocean is creepy as fuck.
I'm telling you,
You
bro.
don't know that, dog. Could be based.
No, we do know that. We know that. It's fucking known. We got no business being down there. Listen, the only difference between outer space and the bottom of the fucking ocean is the fucking incredible pressure at the bottom of the ocean.
Well, you get cancer in outer space.
You can get cancer anywhere.
Not like outer space.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I'm fucking sure there's shit at the bottom of the ocean that'll give you
Mm-mm.
cancer.
No, outer space is pure radiation, bud.
I'm not worried about getting cancer in space.
No, I am.
Well, then you can stay here on Earth with
I
your
will.
dolphin milk business.
I will.
And I'll go explore the vast, hollow, horribly lonely vastness of outer
As
space.
the tumors grow in your skin, your brains turn into scrambled eggs
Yeah,
from zero gravity.
that's how I want to go out.
Yeah, space sucks.
You suck, pussy.
Space is dumb.
You're dumb.
Nope.
Yeah,
Nope. I actually don't even think we've been to outer space.
I think that you're making that up.
No, I think the moon landing was fake.
I don't think you've ever been to outer space.
You're right, I haven't.
I don't think the moon's real.
Yeah, somebody offered me one time. I said no because it was dumb.
How dare you?
They said, "Yo, Dave, you trying to go outer space?" I was like, "What do you think? I'm a retard?"
Fucking ungrateful pleb.
Yeah, and then they go, "Do you have any friends that would like to go?" I was like, "No, not at all."
I'll fucking kill you. You better get a hold of him. Tell him you
Yeah.
made a mistake.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. That's it. We're gonna build a subaquatic civilization.
I fuck you. I'm starting my own industry in space for dolphin milk. It's gonna be called Dolphin Milk 0G. And you know what? Because it's from space, it's going to be considered exotic, and I'm going to put your business out of business.
You
I'm going to unbusiness you.
Nah, you ain't.
I am. I got a better business model, bub.
No, you don't. There's nobody to help you out there.
I don't need it.
You gotta bring your own dolphins.
Yeah, they're plentiful down here.
You're gonna be coming into my domain to get dolphins.
I'm going to be coming in. Never mind.
Oh god. The fucking guys like Muntin over here.
Mutton.
Dolphin munting.
Dolphin munting. That's where the real milk is.
That's where the real money's at, boys. All right.
This got weird at the end. I'm sorry,
no.
guys.
Yeah, we're fucking weird. All right, that's gonna be it. We're gonna head out of here. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys next time. Buy books, BizarreArchives.com. Follow Twitter and Telegram at the BizarreArchives. And check out our Substack. Really great stuff like the Paranormal transmissions that I read earlier and free ebooks. You can't beat it. You can't beat it anywhere. So check out all that stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Hails and blessings.